When it comes to the Communist Party of China, what keywords do you associate with?
I think of the Red Scare.
Oppression.
Que puede representar opresión.
The new Silk Road, with all the projects they're gonna change other countries.
共产党领导咱们现在生活越来越富裕，
执行力、凝聚力，
从最基本的地方都会替大家想到。
在国内，无论你在任何一个城市，心里头都感到很安全。
Vilified abroad, but popular at home. As to strict interviews and other surveys reveal, the difference in perceptions toward the CPC between Chinese and Westerners is huge. In 2021, the Communist Party of China embraces its 100th birthday. Since its founding in 1921, China has experienced tremendous changes and has created the Oriental miracle. For those who have been trying to decode this miracle, the CPC is the key. Only by understanding the CPC can we understand today's China. So, what exactly causes these different responses between Chinese and Westerners?
The understanding of the Chinese Communist Party in the West is a Cold War attitude, essentially. It is a product of that period of conflict between the Soviet Union and the United States. And there's a very powerful tendency in the West.
People don't know what is the conditions of China. If they go to Shanghai or Beijing or Shenzhen, they're astonished at how developed these cities are.
Very few Westerners have ever been to China. They don't know anything about the history of China. So what you get is this very cliched, prejudiced picture of the Chinese Communist Party based on, I would say, monumental, supreme ignorance, really.
Well, in the West, if you want to do research, but if your proposal is about the Chinese Communist Party, you are unlikely to get the fellowship and the funding. So that's, I would say, definitely the Chinese Communist Party has been unduly understudied, or even to a great degree ignored in the West.
Arguments with officers.
Fortifications around the government.
The focus of the
carrying out forced sterilization.
Scared of its own people.
Western media, under the control of special interest groups, constantly slanders China and its ruling party and misleads the public. This further deepens Western people's biases against the CPC.
There are a lot of biases toward the Chinese Communist Party in the West, a lot, particularly in social media. But I don't believe in social media, because in social media, ordinary people, they don't have their own personal opinion, right? They just receive, accept the public opinion from public opinion leaders in the West. But those public opinion leaders are very much biased, against the Chinese Communist Party.
西方媒体报道的中国呀，往往不是真实的中国。西方媒体的报道，它带着它的偏见、文化的背景，以它的视野来看中国。
To go in, slightly over 70 years, that is a single lifetime from being almost the poorest country in the world to being a high-income economy within a single lifetime is an incredible achievement. But of course, the Western mass media attempts to disguise this reality about China. It prevents people having a proper perspective about the development of China.
Since the late 1970s, after China ushered in its reform and opening up policy, the rapid development of China has run in sharp contrast to the stagnant growth of developed countries. However, the remarkable improvement of China's national strength and people's living standards brought by China's unique system seriously eroded the confidence of the West in its own systems.
In the 80s, many people in the United States are very proud because they have a very big middle class. But now, this middle class has been transformed into what the US people call plutocracy. Rich people get so rich, poor people become poor. So they are not able to achieve social justice.
But when it saw that China was a threat to its global primacy, then the attitude of the United States changed. Not just Trump, not just the Republicans, but bipartisan, including the Democrats.
那么这种威胁是什么呢？他说不在于军事，也不在于地缘政治，而在于意识形态。因为你成功，你代表了一套新的制度、新的价值观、新的发展模式的成功。你给全世界提供了全新的选择，你开辟了一条新的道路。从此，全世界不再信仰你的那一套，这是威胁到了西方按照自己的模样改造世界的能力。
Because as long as China is seen as an enemy, first it makes the West look better, and it also rationalizes the continued expansion of the so-called defense. This is a basic political tool. It's an ancient political tool. Read Sun Tzu create fear, and they create a problem that, if you elect me, I will save America. If you elect me, I will fix this trade problem.
西方他认为，所谓的民主就是一人一票，所谓的民主就是三权分立，这个标准来衡量。那中共显然跟他的民主是不一样的。西方说中共没有自由，而不尊重人权。那么什么是人权呢？它也是按照西方的那套人权观念来的。你看我们这个抗议中间，什么是人权？人的生命权在这个期间就是最大的人权，首要的人权，生命都没有了，谈什么人权？那么这两种自由观、两种人权观、两种民主观，哪种更好？不是用西方的学说来判断它，而是用实践来判断好不好。
Similarly, on the economic recovery of China in 2020 due to COVID, China is the only major economy in the world in 2020 which grew. This is astonishing economic success. And it completely refutes all these articles which appear in the West say China's economy is a very bad situation, China's economy is going to collapse, etc.
China has been so successful building its economy, having not just a big economy, but a vibrant economy with entrepreneurship, with new technologies, pioneering technologies like e-commerce, cell phone communications, payment systems. I mean, China's leading the world in those technologies.
那么这个背后其实就是制度的因素，包括党的领导的因素，这是我们这个制度中国成功的一个很重要的因素，而这个西方显然是无法接受。